Hello again, everybody. Beers and Barry back again. Episode 6, I believe this is. Been a couple weeks. My cameraman guard duty last week and his birthday, so I gave him, a little leave. Let him have some fun. He deserves it. This week, we're going to go over a couple quick things and a couple little funny stories. First off, I want to talk about something that's been going on for a long time that I totally disagree with, and that's this whole thing of affirmative action. I mean, really, what the fuck is affirmative action? I'll tell you what it is. It's what got Obama elected to the presidency in the first place. I mean, I understand it was supposed to be transcendental, first black president and all that, but a lot of people voted for him without even knowing who he was or what he stood for. They just wanted to be part of the movement. So, with that being said, I'm kind of hoping that happens for Trump this time, because he's awakened the sleeping giant of the American populace who feels that their voices aren't heard in Washington by the establishment. Excuse me. So, other than this shit with affirmative action, not only within the presidency, but within society in general. You have people being put into jobs. They're putting minorities and certain ethnicities can test for a job. There's a job opening at a fire department, in a police department, and you have to take a competency test. But if you're a minority, they lower the passing score to help get the minorities in there to create diversity. But I think there's a problem with that. I'm all fine with diversity and think that fire departments and police departments and every other goddamn job in the whole world should have a mix of people in it. Men, women, all religions and ethnicities. But first and foremost, you should have the best person for the fucking job in that place. Why do you dumb down test scores and give people the job when they've clearly been outperformed by others? The best person for the job. If the Latinos or the blacks or the women or the LGBT community want those jobs, I have no problem with that, and think that they should get those jobs if they test at a high enough standard for it. But the standard should be the same for everybody. I mean, if you're going to the hospital to get operated on, do you want some fucking doctor that got a C in med school operating on you when you could have a doctor that got an A? But unfortunately, the hospital is full of C-grade doctors because they're promoting fucking diversity and equality. Colleges do the same fucking thing with admissions. SAT scores, grade point averages, backgrounds. They're pushing diversity and multiculturalism more now than they are academics, education, and experience. If you want to get into a prestigious school that has high standards and is tough to get into, Ivy League schools, whatever, these other big schools across the country, then you should have to meet whatever their criteria is to get there. You shouldn't have your eligible test score lowered just because your skin color is different. That, in a sense, is reverse racism, and it's a fucking crock of shit. The best people for the job. The best people for the school. Once you get out of school and go into the workforce and experience real life, that's where you can get your diversity and your multiculturalism. But when it comes down to schools that want the good students, it should only be on their merit and on their grades and nothing else. Same for jobs. Do you want firemen or ambulance drivers or cops showing up to protect you that scored lower on the fucking test than somebody who's unemployed just because they're white doesn't fucking make any sense. Again, I'm not trying to be bigoted or racist in any way. It's simple. The best person for the job. Whoever scores the highest on the test and has the best life experience and educational background should get the job. Nobody should have their standards lowered to be put into a position over somebody who worked just as hard and had better grades just to get passed over. That's a crock of shit. You know, and then that's all I'm going to say about that. That's fucking cut and dried. It's simple. Affirmative action is fucking bullshit. We already have laws on the books for equal opportunity employment, and you can't, you know, be biased on anyone over race, gender, sexuality, you know. So enough said. This affirmative action is just a progressive push for more bullshit, pandering to people to get votes, and putting people of lesser caliber into important jobs, all in the name of fucking diversity and multiculturalism and globalism. Again, I don't care what color you are, what religion you are, what sexuality you are. I just want you to be the best possible person to perform the job that you're hired for. Simple as that. Give the jobs to the ones who are best at it. The other people got to find something a little farther down the food chain until they can work their way up. I mean, that's life. That's how it is. You want to fucking be better at something? Work harder, fucking try harder, and move up the ladder and achieve your goals that way. Don't get it by some fucking backdoor fucking policy pushed out by the progressive left. That's bullshit. So, I'll leave it at that. Next, the newest news that Ford wants to take all their small car assemblies and move the production to Mexico. This is something Donald Trump's been talking about since he started his campaign with Nabisco going there. He won't eat Oreos anymore. I won't either, unless no one's looking, and I might eat a couple, because they're fucking good. But anyway, Ford, I've owned some Fords. My first car ever was a 1970 Ford Pinto. Kind of think maybe my parents didn't like me too much since they got me that car. Maybe they were hoping I'd get rear-ended and go up in a ball of flames. Funny thing is, that car actually did burn down, but not from a faulty gas tank or rear-end collision. Total another story. It's kind of funny. I'll save it for another time. But Ford, if they want to move all their small car production to Mexico, obviously it's going to cost American jobs. And right now, American jobs is what we need more than ever. And that's what Trump is touting. And he talked about Carrier, bringing their air conditioning manufacturing down to Mexico. Fine. If you bring it down there, every time, you know what Trump says, you try to bring it back across the border and sell it here in America, you're going to be hit with taxes and tariffs up to 35%. Well, why not? We need to get our money somehow. You're stealing our jobs and giving them to other people. And I mean, Ford is supposed to be an American company. You know, they've employed hundreds of thousands of people throughout the years in the U.S. And now they want to jump ship and go to Mexico to save money and pad their pockets. You know, after that shitty little Pinto I had that caught on fire, I also owned a Ford Mustang, a Ford Escort wagon, a Ford F-150. So I've had multiple Fords in my lifetime. But I tell you what, if they follow through with this and move all their production down to Mexico, I say what the American people needs to do is give Ford a big middle finger and say, go fuck yourself. We're not buying your cars anymore. You can make your Fusions and your Fiestas and whatever the fuck else it is they're making nowadays that they haven't discontinued in Mexico and sell them to the Mexicans. we don't need to put up with that fucking bullshit. And Trump was right to slam them. So I think if Ford wants to slap the American people in the face by making this move, only for their own gain, for a bigger bottom dollar for them. They're not doing it for us people. I mean, maybe if they can go down there and make the cars a little cheaper and sell them to us a little cheaper, they'll put the slant on it that it's helping us because they can produce the cars cheaper and sell them back to us cheaper. But on the flip side, how many fucking American jobs do we lose when that happens? And that will offset whatever savings. We will suffer way more losses than we get in savings. So, Ford, if you want to become a Mexican car company, so be it. I can't speak for everybody else, but unless you change your course, I will never spend another dollar on a Ford vehicle again so long as I live. I don't care if I have to buy a fucking Japanese car or a fucking Korean car or a German car. Ford is an American company, and right now they're bailing on the American people, and I think it's time we stand up, fight back, and as a people, we should fucking bail on Ford and let them feel the consequences of their actions. You want to be a good American company? Keep your manufacturing and production facilities here in the United States and hire American workers and legal immigrants to fill those jobs. It's a disgrace what's happening, like Trump said in a rally the other night. Years ago, Ford used to make cars in Flint, Michigan, and you couldn't drink the water in Mexico. And fucking nowadays, what do we got? The complete fucking opposite. Ford is gonna make cars in Mexico, and you can't drink the fucking water in Flint, Michigan. How fucking ass backwards is that? Trump will fix that. So everybody, and I will gladly say, I did get online and donate a whole $35 to him today to help his fight to ascend to the presidency, because crooked Hillary just isn't a fucking answer. She will kill this country if she lives long enough. With all her medical problems, that's not likely to happen. But do we really want fucking Tim Kaine in office? I don't think so. So, well, let me check my timer here. I fucking forgot to start it, so I have no idea how long I've been going. Let me, I'm sweating like a bastard. It's unusually hot in here tonight. Let me cool off with a nice cold drink of, I can't tell you because they won't advertise. Actually, it's Bush. Fuck them if they don't like it. In a cabana koozie from Plattsburgh City Beach. When the beach is open, go visit the cabana. It's a nice place. So, affirmative action, Ford going to fucking Mexico. Where do I start? Where do I end? It all just pisses me off. Lots of things piss me off. But, better to be pissed off than pissed on. Unless that's a fetish you have and you like. But, you know, that's for a whole nother show too. So, I'm assuming I've eaten up at least half of my 15 minutes by now, if not more. So, we'll go on to a funny story. If you've watched the last couple episodes, you know that I poked some fun and talked some shit about my ex-wife, and, you know, no harm, no foul. It's all in good fun, just trying to make people laugh. The last story, you know, had a fecal tone to it because it was about her almost shitting her pants in the car. If you haven't seen it, go back and watch. It's fucking hilarious. But, so anyway, I'm going to continue on. I'm going to leave my wife mostly out of it. Ex-wife. To make that clear, ex-wife. Leave her mostly out of this. But I do have a couple more shit stories to tell that I think are rather funny. So this goes back. I'll start with my son first because he's oldest. And he was my firstborn. So I might as well pick on him first. We were over in the trailer park in Collins Way, visiting my in-laws. Had a couple different in-laws that lived over there in a couple different trailers. So it made it nice. We could go over and visit a whole bunch of people in one stop. But while we were over there one day, actually come to think of it, I don't even think I was there. I might have been slaving away at the car wash. You know, but I know the story. I had it told to me, and I know it well. I know for a fact that at least my wife was there with my son. This was before my daughter was born. My son was only about 4 years old. My wife brought him over. She was visiting with her sister. My son was out in the driveway playing. There was like a little tricycle out there and some cars for him to play with. And, you know, they weren't really paying too close of attention to him. They could see him out the window, and he was right there. He wasn't going anywhere. It was a safe place, all fenced off. But apparently, you know, he was fully potty trained by now. He was like fucking 4 years old. But apparently he had to poop, and he just didn't feel like coming inside. And apparently hadn't learned how to pull his pants down outside and just drop one on the ground yet. So he kind of went and hid somewhere, and he shit himself. He crapped right his pants. And, well, then he didn't like the feeling of a big, hot, steamy pile of shit in his drawers, so he decided he needed to get rid of it. So, I mean, who wouldn't want to get rid of it? No one wants to walk around with fucking pants full of shit. So what he did is he snuck down the driveway and went around the car. And this is funny because it was a white car, so perfect color. He reached in his pants and was trying to dig this shit out to get rid of it, but then it got all over his hands. And while he thought it was bad in his pants, he liked it on his hands even less. And he wanted that shit off his fucking hand. So he panicked, didn't know what to do. And he just said, I need this, and he was standing right next to the car. A white Pontiac 6000, I believe. My memory serves correctly. I do have a pretty good memory. Except for after nights when I drink too much and I forget a lot of stuff, but whatever. So anyway, my son proceeded to empty the shit out of his drawers and smear it all down the side of his aunt's white car, from the back bumper to the front bumper. You know, and eventually, you know, his mother came out looking for him and walked out and saw shit smeared all down the side of the car. And like, what did you do? And, you know, it was a bit, I just think it's funny. You know, my son, little scat stuff going on, smeared shit all down the side of his aunt's car. You know, and she still loves him to this day. I mean, you got it. You know, it's a good thing he didn't do it to my car. I'd have rubbed his nose in it and slapped him and told him he was a bad boy. So that's my son's little shit story. Not as comical maybe as my wife almost shit in her pants, but I still think it's a little funny. So, you know, might as well hit up the rest of the family. I've got 2 out of 3 so far. I'm not going to tell you a shit story about myself. And believe me, there are a couple. But someone else will have to tell you those. So there's only one left. That'd be my daughter, Jenna. Well, when she was just a child, about a year old, I was working in New York City. I worked for Bombardier at the time. And I was down there doing field service work, working on the new subway cars that we were building for them. So I was gone, you know, all week long. I came home every other weekend. So that left my wife basically to take care of our newborn daughter. Like I said, by this point she was about a year old. And I was out of town, and my wife wakes up in the morning and she hears Jenna screaming and crying in her room. So she goes in thinking, oh, you know, whatever. She's just waking up, probably got a dirty diaper, got to change her. I'll go in and take care of her, it'll all be better. I'm so glad I wasn't there, because I didn't have to help clean anything up. But my wife at the time walks in, opens the door, looking to find her precious little baby in her crib, needing a diaper change. Well, yeah, she needed a diaper change, but it was a little more than that. Jenna had shit herself severely and loaded her diaper full. And then she also managed to tear it off herself. And in the process, got shit all over the crib, shit all over her hands. And again, like Brett, nobody wants, who the fuck wants shit all over their hands? Nobody. So that's why she was screaming and crying. She was freaking out because she had 2 handfuls of shit. And she just wanted that shit to disappear. So she's screaming and crying and shaking her hands. So, needless to say, you fling your hands around when they're full of shit, shit's gonna fly out of your hands and off your hands. And so when my wife went in there to get her, not only did she have a crib full of shit, hands full of shit, there was fucking shit. Little fucking 1-year-old girl baby shit splattered on every fucking wall and the ceiling of her room. It was everywhere. And again, like I said, so glad I was in New York City working. I didn't have to deal with it. I didn't have to smell it. I didn't have to clean up after it. I got an insane phone call from my wife screaming about it, and you'll never believe it, and blah, blah. That's why you need to be here. And I was thinking to myself, no, that's exactly why I need to be down here. Because I can't do that. I'm not a ship. I don't even like to wipe my own ass. I'd like to fucking have a dog's ass surgically put in where mine is. Because dogs don't have to wipe their ass. They go out in the yard, they walk around, they fucking squat, they take a shit, they pinch their asshole off, maybe lick it once or twice, but come back inside and they're clean. I take a shit, I wait for half an hour, use a whole roll of toilet paper, I walk away. 10 minutes later, I go check my underwear, it looks like I've been mud wrestling. I got bacon strips in there. It's like, why does it keep coming out? I'm thinking about inventing man butt tampons for guys that have this problem. So, if any of you suffer from this same problem, feel free to comment or email me, and maybe we'll try to get a startup going to go on Shark Tank for men's butt tampons for anal leakage or whatever you want to call it. I don't fucking know. All I know, like thongs, women wear thongs. Who could fucking? I could never wear a thong. I put it on, 5 minutes later, it needs to go in the fucking laundry. I need like loose baggy stuff with I don't know. Those are just my sick, twisted thoughts, people. It's almost 9:45. I started drinking at noon today, so I'm feeling pretty good right now. This show, probably not one of my best, but you haven't even seen my fucking worst yet. So, I'm sure I could do worse if I tried. Well, maybe episode 2.5 where I was passed out cold was worse, but some people thought that was funny. Anyway, I'll stop babbling now. Try to do better next time. Welcome comments, a couple shout outs. Jay Bouchard, thank you for hooking up with me on LinkedIn. My cameraman as well. Gotta make the LinkedIn connections, people. If you want to be a professional, get on fucking LinkedIn too. Facebook and Twitter isn't everything. You gotta be professionals. Get on LinkedIn. Like me. I'm a professional. Professional asshole. My father always told me, you're good at something, stick with it. So, I've done what I could this week. Looking forward to doing it again next week. Peace out.